Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your story alone,
Appreciate it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's like real survival. You know what I'm saying? The brother making believe it in himself to move forward and go behind what he believe in. Because in today's time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you're witnessing what you witness overseas. You know, come over here pursuing your music and let nobody stop you. You know what I'm saying? Let nobody hate on you. You know what I'm saying? Enough to get you out your game. You feel me?
Right.
Then you come over here, then you say you get with the push management. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did that feel like to have somebody be able to see you finally, to be like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, here's a team, here's some people that want to get with you and support your music and support your art.
Well, that was a dream come true, man. That was what I always wanted. I'd always, coming from where I'm coming from, old country town, country boy, there was no hip hop scene, and I grew up listening to Eight Ball and MJG. I never thought that I was going to work with them, So all these things felt far fetched because there was no hip hop scene where I was from. There was no major artists from the town that I was from. So, that was a dream come true, man. When shouts out Duprano. When he came, when he gave me that first call, said he wanted to meet with me, and then Eight Ball came to Augusta, Georgia, and really kind of put his arm around me in front of the whole city during Mayfest. Like that was a dream come true, brother. To have somebody that you actually respect and admire your talent, and to really believe in it to the point where they were putting their money where their mouth was. You know what I mean? And so I always have the utmost love and respect for Eight Ball, for MJG, for Jazzy Faye, because he was involved as well, and Duprano, because they ain't have to do that. They could, I mean, they from Memphis, man. This is before Young Dolph was signed. They could have signed Gotti, they could have signed Dolph, they could have signed any, and me and Ball laugh now about it. I'm like, maybe you might have should have signed off too. but
Oh,
I do appreciate the fact that they saw they saw something in me, man. And I think what they saw was just that undying spirit to win, and that I was going to keep pushing regardless if anybody did anything for me or not. I was going to still be there, and I'm still here to this day.
that's a great team member to have on. And that's a testimony, time and spaces where a player gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? You probably only had so much time to be there to do that until the next.
Yeah,
You're creative, you're entrepreneur. For those that's just getting tuned in, you feel me? If you just getting tuned in, you already know who I'm talking to. Ugly Money CEO, period. You hear me? Just
yes,
for the
sir.
record, I want to let you know this brother went overseas to fight in the war, to be a medic, right? To fund his
Yes, sir.
music career. Like, you hear me? He ain't looking to his left and right with his hands out. He went join the military to fund his music career, right? It got a little wild. He played his part. Then he said, look, God, I ain't got to do this every day. You hear me? I played my part. So how about we figure out something else for me that I know I could be successful in and could make it count, right? The man comes back to the States. You hear me? Getting to college, you feel me? His entrepreneur skills was so intense that he just couldn't be on that campus. They were trying to keep him,
Love it.
you know what I'm saying? Trying to keep him close.
Love it.
He was bigger. He was thinking big. You heard me?
Yeah, we was thinking real big.
Thinking real big. So you heard me? So what he did was he went to the left, you heard me, and he tried something else. He said, I'm gonna go full time with my music. I will push management, shout out Prano, Ball and G, one of the first artists for these people to say, yo, I want to work with this dude. He was discovered. You heard me? The boy told you he from a little small town. He came cranking and he knew that he was not going to stop. So we presently get to a point where, young P Nice, Mr. Nish himself, you feel me? Ugly Money CEO says, yo, I got an idea. I want to get into content. Where in the hell did that happen, Ron? Like, cause picture me going through that little rabbit hole about you. It
Yeah.
takes a person, bro, a focused person to really know not to feed them distractions, to get to a point to have 1.9 subscribers on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? To get to an audience on Patreon, or to get to people that want to subscribe and rock with you. So
Yes,
when
sir.
did that light bulb go off? Can you tell, like us, when did the light bulb go off about you becoming a content CEO?
everything that happened in my career is because somebody let me down. So I had to step up for myself.
Hmm.
I got into content because I was hiring guys to shoot my music videos and they wasn't giving my damn music video back.
Hmm.
So rather than do something stupid or do something feminine, which is talk shit on the internet about them, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn what you do and I'm gonna take you out of business. And that's how I used to beef.
Okay.
I'm like, rather than sit here on this damn app and talk shit about you, I'm gonna go to Best Buy, buy me a computer, find out which cameras I need, and I started shooting my own. And I took that just because a certain person didn't show up to work, and I realized that people didn't believe it unless they saw it. And then I learned how powerful content was because when I got back from the war, I went on tour. I was the first official Army rapper, and I was the first rapper on the United States Army Soldier Show. And so we were going overseas, Korea. I was touring all over the world, uh, rapping for troops. And I'm like, nobody at home is gonna believe this shit if I tell them.
Right.
I
Wow.
said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna film it. and, and I literally started shooting content, bro, in 2007, and on YouTube before all this stuff happened or whatever, all the monetization,
Right.
because I really wanted to show everybody back home and all the people, the DJs that won't play me and the radio station that won't play me, like, hey, man, I'm doing some next level shit.
Right.
And I never lost that neck. I saw how powerful it was for people to let people in on what you were doing, to let people see a peak of your life, because they can pull from your content whatever they make. Some people get knowledge, some people get inspiration, some people get triggered,
Right.
but the fact of the matter is that I was willing to let people see a piece of my life and piece of how I was doing things, and maybe they can apply it to theirs, because you know ain't nobody gonna pull you up out that mud. You gotta come up out that mud scratching yourself. But I can damn sure leave you a breadcrumb, brother. I can show you. I can leave you a rope. You got to pull yourself up, but I can show you a way.
Sure.
And only what the best way I can show you is to show you what I did and what worked for me and what didn't work for me.
Right.
And so when we got into content, after about 2018, 2019, I wanted to get into more, business. My kids was getting older, and they won't rap won't paying the bills like that. And I said, well, I want to do something, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm like, I want to do something that I enjoy, so that way I never have to work a day in my life. And so I was like, well, we'll start a podcast. And after I had, moved to Atlanta, and I wasn't able to go, I didn't want to go back to Augusta because I had got to Atlanta. And I'm like, well, if I'm in Atlanta, I need to stay here. And so I started my podcast. And first episode, nobody watched it. I think I did 52 views the whole first month. I promoted it all damn month long like it was an album. And nobody watched it. Nobody cared, but I kept dropping.
Right. No
And
doubt.
for the first 2-3 years,
Right.
nobody watched me.
Right.
Kept dropping.
Right.
And you after a while you finally find one, and it hit.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is what it feels like.
Okay.
Then I had another one hit. So I did my first interview that did probably over 100,000 views was Murphy Lee. He came to my house at the time. I was staying on the east side. He get to talking about him and in the old Nelly days and things of that nature. So that was a personal partner of mine. It went up, and then I ended up interviewing Young Jock.
Okay.
And I was doing a club night with Young Jock at the time, and this was right around the time that 42 Doug had that song, Before I Go Broke Like Jock,
Right.
fuck
Oh,
with that dog like Vic.
that was a hard line.
And I was the first person to ask him on a podcast about it.
Right.
And his answer was classic, right? And so that interview kind of catapulted my platform up some more. And so after you get about 3 or 4 good ones in, next thing you turn around and YouTube starts sending them plaques in.
Come on.
Yes, sir. So, interviewed Charleston White 4 times, that crazy guy. But he definitely brought the viewership in, and YouTube sent me that 100,000 plaque, and just never stopped. And then what was funny about that was, and shouts out to Charleston, because I shout out him because he was able to put a light on me that that I knew I had. I knew I had a talent level, but he was able to bring the viewers to me because of the crazy things he said. And I was like, I gotta find a way for people to watch my show without me having to pay a nigga $10,000 though. Right? I'm like, I don't want to have to pay a nigga 10 grand to have a podcast. I said,
every
I have
time.
to find a way for people to watch and view and enjoy me because
Right,
I think I got a talent level myself.
right.
And so, man, we get, we trying different things. We beat, we beating around in the dark like we always do, trying to figure out experimenting. And I was on I was on YouTube live with a young lady, and we were talking about Megan and Tori. I'll never forget today. And she was Team Megan, and I was Team Tori. And we both were very passionate about what we were talking about. But I realized that every time I tried to speak, she cut me off and started yelling. So after about 10 minutes of her yelling and cutting me off, I said, wait a minute. I said, I paid for this damn soundboard. I'll mute this damn mic and go off. And I muted the mic, dropped the bomb, and took off on it. And that was the first time that I got something that we call on YouTube as a super chat. Well, a motherfucker sent some money. I said, oh shit, man, send $5.
Come on.
I never got no money before in my life. I didn't even know I could get it. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Somebody sent $5. He said, thank you for shutting up.
Oh man, come on.
And then I realized something. I was like, wow. I said, men are not really heard at all when women are triggered.
Mm.
I called my brother Biz. I said, bro, let's call some girls in here tomorrow. We're gonna shoot a episode, and we just gonna ask them some trigger and ask questions and see what happened.
Right.
And man, the rest is history.
You done figured it out. You done figured the sauce.
And figured it out, man. If you just figured it out. I would love to say that I had the answers all along. No, I didn't. This is God's work, man. God ordered my steps. I did not think that I was going to be doing the type of podcasting that I'm doing now. Nope, didn't think it. Never would have thought it. But sometimes you got to listen to the people, and the people will tell you what they want, and the people will tell you what they want to hear from you, and the people will tell you what they like.
Okay.
And so I listen to the people, and it's us as entertainers. That's the boss.
Right.
The fans, the people that listen to you, the people that watch, that's the boss. And so I paid very close attention to what my audience was telling me, what my audience liked, what my audience disliked, and I catered to them every single day ever since then. So every time that I get on live, every time that I do a broadcast, every time that I do anything as far as in the entertainment field, I keep my audience in mind.
Okay.
To the point where I actually know what an Ugly Money Nietzsche listener or fan is. I actually named him. His name's JoJo. He's 33 years old. He like Boosie, Gucci, and goddamn Future. He used to sell dope back in the day. His baby mama tripping. I talk to that black man every day of my life.
Oh,
Every time I get online, I talk to him. And
you
so after a while, you build a certain rapport with them where they feel like we family. I talk to Nietzsche every day. I can ask Nietzsche for advice. Nietzsche told me about, because a lot of us are going through the same thing. Everybody done went through a toxic shit with a toxic bitch. Everybody done went through everybody done went through a woman that don't know how to listen. Everybody went through a woman that talk too much. Everybody done went through a woman that cheated on them. So a lot of these brothers are going through these same similar things, and it becomes a community because a lot of brothers thought that they was alone. A lot of brothers thought, like, man, I'm the only nigga that dealt with this. Nah, bro, you ain't alone. Like, matter of fact, let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what kept me out of jail so I didn't crash out. And so when I started getting DMs and I started getting messages from brothers saying that I talked them off their ledge. Like, bro, man, your video, bro, I got a DM from a brother saying that he was gonna kill himself, bro. And he said, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, Nietzsche, man, your video kept me from killing myself, man, because you were talking about exactly what I was going through. And I was so down and so hurt about it that I was ready to leave this world. And he said, man, the way you responded to it made me laugh. And I put that gun down.
Mm.
And I kept going with life. And so if a person ingests my content, yeah, there is a message to it. But I coat it with laughter. I coat it with good vibes and good energy. And you're gonna laugh and smile and but there's also a message. And so I think my job done already in that aspect, man. I done saved the life with this shit, man.
So this, in the process of all this, you didn't figure how to package it all up to hit all key bases. Even helping brothers out here with their own mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Own
Yes,
little,
sir.
yeah. So that's dope. You hear me? So what?
Because you never know what you never know what these brothers are going through, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times, the life of a father, life of a black man is an unsung hero.
Yeah,
We only get attention when something go wrong or when something need to get paid for. But when something go right, nobody looking our way. And so it's a lot of men that feel that way. It's a lot of men that feel unappreciated. And our whole lives are served to try to provide for who and what we love.
right,
And what happens when you spend your whole life trying to provide for someone that you love and that someone don't love you back?
right,
It's devastating,
right,
right?
right,
And so I've just learned to tell brothers like, bro, that ain't the end of the line, brother.
mm,
If that person doesn't see the value in you, that's their business.
mhm,
Keep it moving
right.
and go find someone that do.
Real talk.
And she out there.
Right.
And she fine, probably younger, and got all her teeth.
And, and she might be a guest on your show slapping another woman.
Hey man, say man.
Tell me about that, bro. What made you come up with this idea to create this type of show? I think it's genius, bro. And you know what? For the record, well, the next I'm letting you know already. I'm looking forward to interview you another time. So I'm gonna find another day in your schedule. I don't care if it's next month, next year. So
Yes,
we
sir.
can talk, because I'm happy to know I got a brother that's working on some things. And he put out some ADHD literature to help people going through that on how to survive and be great through that. But tell me how you started the slapping show, brother. Women slapping each other.
Man, so you got to understand that, like, when I decided that I was gonna, retire from rapping, I was trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with my life, right? And so shouts out my brother Jay and Zoe. Some guys out of Columbus, they did this fight night out where I was at, and they wanted me to host it because I realized that people really like when I talk shit. They enjoyed it. And I could and I could get paid to talk shit. They would pay me to grab a mic and say what the hell was on my mind. And then I realized that I was pretty gifted at it because I'd never had any training. And anytime you put a mic in my hand or a camera in front of my face, I knew what the fuck to say. And so, man, we went all over the goddamn country doing slap contests and fight nights, man, this underground fight league. And it was funny about that was, most people have seen because we were going viral before viral was a thing.
Okay.
If you seen a girl slap another girl in the ring, 9 times out of 10, I'm the person saying 1, 2, 3, slap. And I tried to, and I remember me trying to make it a legal sport. So I started doing the research to try to turn it to something, a legal, real deal
Right,
sport.
right,
And I kept hitting roadblocks. I'm like, nah, man, the world need to see this because, look, bro, I got a video with 100 million views on this shit. This before viral was viral. And I'm like, nah, this is something people gonna want to see. And I kept hitting roadblocks, man. And so I finally just left it alone. And then probably about 3, 4 years later, the white boys, I guess they let them do it. So now it's a slap league. And I'm sitting there looking at it like, y'all niggas know y'all owe me a check, right?
real talk.
Yeah, they owe me a check. You, you,
Right.
you, you definitely, owe me a check. And and I got nothing but love and respect for them. I'm just glad to see that it became a sport because that's what I always thought it was going to be. But fun times, bro. Fun times. And you never know. You can't judge a book by its cover because some of the most hard, some of the smallest people pack the biggest punch.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
done seen a woman definitely over 300 pounds get knocked out cold by a chick that probably want $150.
damn.
And if you know how to hit them right, boy, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, man.
I gotta check out some of the shows, bro. There's
Oh man, it was hilarious back there, man.
some of the shows, bro. I am thoroughly motivated by your entrepreneurship, my brother. You
No
know,
respect.
feel like in this new world, you remember this new
Yes,
digital
sir.
world. You know what I mean? You went and picked a corner and made lemonade out of lemons. You hear me?
And you know, man, Fiend, man, a lot of times I think some people be scared to reinvent themselves. I never was scared to try something new. Because you never know, the new shit might do better for you. So, rap, being a rapper was a phase of my life. Being a club host and a slap, that was a phase of my life.
Right,
My podcast is a phase of my life. I was an A&R, was an A&R with Future and Free Bands for some years. That was a phase of my life where I was helping artists get deals. And
right,
so I've never been scared to pivot, and I've never been scared to expand, because you never know where your next blessings come. And so I always try to keep an open mind about what's going on. And even as I get older, I never wanted to be the OG nigga that's just trying to hold the young man back. I was always an OG nigga, be like, hey, young blood, teach me that shit. What you doing over there? What this TikTok shit you talking about, young brother? You know what I'm saying? And I get my ass on there. So I was never scared to embrace the nuances of things. I never wanted to become a dinosaur, because if you stay in one spot and you don't adapt, you become extinct. And I think that's how, because I'm 43 years old, I think that's how I've been able to have an ascension in my career.
guarantee you, bro. Not only helping brothers dealing with what they're dealing with, mental illnesses, and giving people some laughs, and people having them a little fun. You also are, if anybody really paying attention, is in your entrepreneur bag in a space where people should be intrigued on learning from you, my brother.
I love respect, bro.
You hear me? No, that's one of the first things I was thinking about. I was like, this is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It takes somebody, because everybody ain't got the patience to deal with this. And to say, you know what? Like you was like, I'm gonna go from this hat. Okay, I did this for a little while. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do this. The reason I'm telling you is because it's like you did it like that. It's almost like I'm gonna take 2 years, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take 4 years and do this, I'm gonna take 6 years and do this, I'm gonna take 3 years. Almost look like it feels like a plan, but I'm just listening to your story and I'm just like, this is so cool, bro. I know a lot of people that are in not only in the business of wanting to do what you do, but a lot of people, whether they're in the military, a lot of people, brothers that's dealing with relationships, people that's tuning to me because my DM, because of social media, which is an awesome thing, allow me also to tap into people that's been listening to my music in the past for so long, and brothers be really and sisters be going through their thing, and the music can help them to some type of degree in some spaces in their life. You know what I'm saying?
No, facts, man. The thing about it, Fame, man. I truly feel I was the last brother picked for the team.
Hmm.
I mean, I went through my 20s and saw all my, the little partners get record deals. I went through my 30s and saw all the other partners get rich. You know what I mean? And what was amazing about now, me being in my 40s, I feel like a new nigga out here. You know what I mean? I'm a new artist. I'm a new art. My career is growing in the later later part of my life, and so it's a little different, but I can appreciate it more now.
Oh,
And I
definitely.
think God works in mysterious ways, because he knew I ain't need that kind of money back then. I probably would have, no, I ain't in a problem. I would have crashed the fuck out. And so 40, 43, and my platform and my presence has been growing significantly. Bro, about 4,000-5,000 people follow me every damn day, new people. And
Wow.
I'm just seeing it. And right now it's still organic. It's just
Right.
people naturally gravitating. It's extremely humbling. And I'm just thankful that through all these years of grinding, that it took me to reach the level that I am now and where I'm going, that I wasn't crazy for not quitting.
Good
And I
talk.
think that's the main thing. It's like, I just want to make sure that I ain't crazy, because I could have been a car salesman. I could have, I could have stayed in the army. I could have, went into, nursing school or something. But the fact that, I wasn't crazy, it just took me a little longer than we thought it was. It's a marathon, not a race. You know what I mean?
Man, real talk. Real talk.
Yeah.
I know your story gonna inspire the hell out of people. So with some of this here, like, was the transition going from Augusta or coming from VA to Atlanta, was that like a real transition for you, or you just kind of like fell right on in, or
Man, it was nothing easy, man. When I moved to Atlanta in 2015, after I got signed, I had $100 in my name and no car.
okay.
And let's just say I got a couple of cars and I got a little more than $100 in my name. Thank God. But once again, I never was scared to bet on me. I never was scared to step out on faith. If I got to sleep on the couch, I got to sleep on the couch, or floor. If I got to sleep in the car, I got to sleep in the car, because that would pale in comparison to a life where I am not going after what I want to go after. If I had to live my life knowing that I'm supposed to be doing something and I'm not,
Okay.
just to live, not even comfortable, just to live average. I think that would be more excruciating for me than to sleep some nights in a car. And so, man, I bet it all on black, and I think I'm gonna continue to do that. I don't see me, stopping no time soon. And thank God, we done got to the point where, we not struggling, we ain't making no thirst plays, and we ain't hurting for shit.
Man, that's dope. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
So all these companies are thriving, and you are basically nourishing these companies, flourishing. What do you have in the near future that you're doing that we also could spread the word on?
Yeah.
What's
Well, Trigger Alert is quickly becoming the largest Black male empowerment show in the country, and that's something that we own 100%. We built it out the ground, we built it out the mud, and we still have 100% ownership of that. And of all my companies and brands, you know what I'm saying? I'm big on ownership, man. I'm big on passing something down to them kids, man, because if I don't I'm not leaving them, I'm not leaving them a bill when I pass. I'm gonna leave them some real estate, I'm gonna leave them some businesses and things of that nature. And that was always the major picture, the bigger picture for me was, what can I leave for these kids to make sure that my kids never have to work for somebody else unless they want to.
right.
And my grandkids will be born millionaires. And that was my life goal. And thus far, I've accomplished that. My 23-year-old, I've retired her from her job, as of recently. And it feels amazing to know that, she can come work with Pop and he gonna pay her more than them folk over there.
Sure.
And so, and it's something that that he owns and she's gonna inherit one day. And so it's a great feeling. But the next play for me, my brother, and this is more of a debut type situation because I really ain't talked about it. I'm starting a network called HVM Network, High Value Media. And what it basically is a place for real men and women that love real men to ingest content, from reality shows to game shows to movies to scripted series to podcasts. I like to call it the real nigga Zeus. You know what I mean? You got shows like Baddies, and that's what it is, and that's for who it's for.
Right.
We're gonna have a show called Bosses.
Come on.
And instead of seeing brothers crash out, we're gonna all give them $100 and see who can flip it the most in a day. And so that's one of the shows that's coming out. You know what I mean? See who got that boss mentality. And so I just saw a gap in the market where I was like, where do we have a centralized location to ingest content that's made for us? I mean, the women, ladies, they got Lifetime, they got Oprah, they got The View, they got tons of TV networks. Shit, all we get is ESPN, and that's just about sports.
Right.
So they ain't really a safe place for brothers to really go get some content that can inspire, that can entertain for us. Right. And so that's what I'm creating. 2026, I'm launching that, brother, and I'm mashing the gas all the way down on that motherfucker.
Dope, bro. That's dope. And it's a way to observe the market and know how to facilitate what's missing. You dig? Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, man, I was always the guy. I was always the guy to look for the gaps. You know, if everybody's selling Percocets, I ain't going down there selling Percs. I'm gonna sell Xanax.
Come on.
I'm gonna find out what ain't nobody else. I don't want to fuck the bitch everybody fuck. I want to go. I want to go fuck the hoe. There ain't nobody else. I don't want nobody else in the cat. So you know, I rather collaborate than compete. And you know, I think this HVM network gives us a element and a platform where we can all collaborate and bust a bag down. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to say, hey, Fiend, man, look, I love what you're doing on YouTube and all these other platforms, but you know, they give us 2 cents on the dollar. Hey, my nigga, come get $1 on the dollar over here. You know what I mean? And you can still do what you do over there. So, you know, I'm looking forward to being able to collaborate with other like-minded people, and we go bust a major bag down. And,
Yeah.
and everybody still have ownership of what they're building and creating.
You heard it here first. You heard me? You
Yes,
heard me?
sir.
Heard it here first. HVM, you know what I'm saying? This CEO letting y'all know it exists high value media. It'll be available for all y'all creatives out there that feel like y'all really could do numbers and you got exciting, explosive content that needs some housing. You're looking for a forever home for your content. You don't know what to do with your yard. What you gonna get with our people right here, you feel me? And he gonna lay
Yes,
some
sir.
direct y'all show you what to do with your issue, and you're gonna be able to not only make the type of money that you're not gonna get on the other two, but you're gonna be able to get the money you get from our dude. You heard me? You're gonna be able to get right. You feel me? You're gonna learn the business, you're gonna turn up, and you'll be able to probably change the trajectory of wealth of your family. You
Yes,
heard?
sir.
By going ahead and following what this brother is doing and setting the example, setting a blueprint, a whole new blueprint into tomorrow on intellectual property and content, feel me? Visual content.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the goal, man. You know, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Find the play and bring it back to the block. You know
Man,
what I mean? And go buy it.
I see it. I see it.
Respect, brother.
Look, can you also share some of your social media handles for those that haven't had a chance? Because you know, people love to go down the rabbit hole. We talk about people love to like, okay, what's the IG right quick? Let me go see what else he's been doing.
Ugly Money Nietzsche, Ugly Money Niche on everything. And of course, YouTube, Ugly Money TV. They type in Ugly Money, man. My SEO's popping up. I'm popping up. You type in Ugly Money, you're gonna find me.
That's amazing. Look, bro. Hey, bro. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you scheduling up to get this interview popping. You heard me? Not gonna be the last. We're gonna follow everything you're doing. We're gonna push.
Man, we gotta get you up here, man, and get you on that podcast, man, so we can chop it up.
Hey, let's set it up, man. I'm in there like swimwear. You feel me? I get there. You feel me? Like I pull up, no doubt. I don't. I'm out. I'm a homebody kind of guy too, but I'm out. You hear me? I got a few other things going outside of music, but for my brothers and sisters, man, swinging y'all axe cutting trees like this here, your own
Right.
entrepreneurship. I'm
Yes,
there,
sir.
baby. You hear me?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
there. You hear me? And look, man, I don't know if you know it or not, but October 25th, I'm performing in Las Vegas. It's gonna be Cash Money versus No Limit. You know,
Yeah, I just saw that break today, man. Congratulations.
oh man, appreciate you, man. Shout out to Complex, shout out to Swiss, everybody involved. Shout out to both labels, everybody involved, and everybody out there that want to see this happen.
I'm definitely gonna be tuned in. I got a big booty barbecue that day. I'm doing the first annual big booty barbecue. We're gonna have it on the big screen.
That song that can go on the road. You heard me?
Hey, we all about building brands, my brother.
Yeah, we gonna talk, Jeremy. I saved your number in my phone, brother. I really, really appreciate your time. Respectfully, bro, in my prayers, rooting for you to continuously win. And I'm here to assist you. Well, you see, I can be of assistance. Let's schedule it. I'm there.
Appreciate that, fee.
Yeah, yeah.
Love and respect, my brother.
Respect, man. Talk soon. I'm gonna text you my info.
That ugly money.
All right, peace.